All right, my name is Lawrence Ray, also known as LRW3, and today we're bringing you the 5th episode of Millionaire Mindset. And for the 5th episode, I've kind of made it a tradition. If you all haven't noticed, I had to call my guy in. My two best series right now, obviously the podcast and the rap sheet. I had them on the 5th episode, and those are my best producing series. So I figured, hey, Millionaire Mindset is going great. Hopefully, if we add him for the 5th episode, we'll continue the tradition and make this into something real special. So for the people who should have seen you by now, go ahead. For the new fans, new watchers, let them know who you are.
I am Anthony Garret. Artist name is AG. On Facebook, my Facebook page is actor Anthony Garret II. That's the acting. And for the music is AG2 music on everything.
So that's a fact. Appreciate your time, like always. You already know.
Yes, sir.
One of the most talented people you meet, man. Like he said, musician, actor. You do some of everything. And just a better all-around person. So, like I said, Millionaire Mindset. One of the best people we could have got for the 5th episode.
Appreciate that, brother.
Like he told y'all, stream his music. A lot of my questions are gonna be related to the acting, just because, like I told him, it brings a different element that we haven't had here yet. Somebody who can really break down behind the scenes some of that acting that a lot of us are actually interested in, but we don't have nobody to ask or talk to about it. So I found one for y'all. Before we get started just in acting in general, let the people know just some of the pieces of work you've been in and, you know, just your acting background.
Man, let's see. I first started, the very first time acting was actually on a church stage. I played somebody named David. He had a lot of issues, caught the bug right then. So I really started acting at the age of 26. Venus Glover gave me my first part in a role called Old Settler, which was a book, so I had to learn everything verbatim. She did a couple more plays. Everybody ain't going to heaven. I've been in Stephen Little plays, Deception 2. Man, I done did a lot of plays. I done did about 10 plays. One short film with Jamarcus, can't think of his last name, but it's on YouTube right now. Heaven Can Only Wait. Go watch that if you want to see my first acting thing, short film anyway. I've been in Uncle Drew, the movie with Kyrie. That was in 2016. So
we doing movies, we doing plays.
Short films, man.
Basically, and I know you mentioned, you just said you did the first play and you just got an itch for it. Talk to us about what even made you agree at 26, somebody wants you to act. What made you just say, yeah, I want to try that out at 26?
Well, you know, again, I started at 18. That's when I caught the bug. It was just like I was trying to get it. I was just trying to. I've always been the type of person to, you know, watch movies and like imitate the movies. Mm-hmm. So that's always been me. So I was like, oh, I could do this for real. I love the psychological part of playing a character, seeing how they act, study somebody to, you know, pick up their movements, character movements, to you put it to, because really it's interpretation.
Gotcha.
Is really what you do. Yeah.
So
gotcha.
As far as headshots and things like that goes, how important would you say when it comes to?
It's very important because it's like your resume. You know, it is very important to get the quality and who's taking your headshots. You dig what I'm saying? It's between headshots. I don't know if you got the other question, and acting classes, because they want to see that.
I didn't have that. Yeah, talk to us about. I didn't have. Like I said, I didn't know what to ask. Talk to us about the acting classes.
Acting classes. I mean, you really have to do your research on what acting classes, but I would prefer. There's a couple. There's LS Studios in Atlanta, Premiere, which is a guy named Dwayne Boyes, who also did my headshot. He's very big in the acting game. So if you want to be serious, go to Premiere acting classes. First type in Dwayne Boyes, and he'll pop up because he has a photography studio. Ask him questions. He got classes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You know, and go from there.
Gotcha. So I know you mentioned like picking specific ones are important. What are there some not so good places, or not to say those names, but just generally speaking, what separates those from other ones?
it's all about really the look. You know, it's got to look good, because these are what these people are.
Brings a different level.
Yeah, bring a level.
It's about your resume. It's a resume builder to say. I got what you're saying now. All right. So, what's the best advice that you ever been given related to acting that you could pass along to another potential actor?
How to study your script. How to, break it down, because you have to. It's like a puzzle piece. You have to read the lines, but also portray it in your movements. Your every line's not gonna be said the same. Sometimes you might have to pause to give it the effect that it needs.
A little dramatics.
Yeah, dramatics. Yeah.
Now that makes sense. So your first audition ever. Talk to us about your first audition.
First audition. Let me see.
And did it go well?
It was horrible. First auditions is horrible because I was mostly like in my head trying to make sure it looks good for them. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're on camera, the energy is a blank screen. So you have to really bring your energy. Like you have to bring your all at all times, and it'll work out itself is that they're gonna pick you.
Now that makes sense. Now for somebody who's going to their first audition, you might have just kind of gave the game to them right there, but anything else you want to add as far as somebody who's preparing for their first audition, anything that could maybe help them do better from your experience?
My experience. Trust in your movements, trust in yourself. Whatever you feel like works for that script, go with it. Trust your first instinct.
Gotcha. Don't overthink it. Yeah, that's the simplest but most effective advice. Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
Now, do you have any like specific rituals or anything you do like that before an audition, or?
No, I would really pray. That's it. Because it was for me, it's for me at the end of the day. So
that's a
I
fact.
just go in there, make sure I study my lines, and go hard at all times. Somebody gonna say yes.
Now that's a fact. Now I know when it comes to actors, I know it's like voiceover actors, I know it's like stage actors and movie actors. Now which one, or would you consider yourself?
I do it all. I mean, I just do it all, man. Like, cause you don't want to limit yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you can get in commercials to get in, do that. If you can do hand modeling, do that. It's a lot of like voiceovers. Most of the stuff, voiceovers, like, they make a lot of money because they're behind the scenes of doing a cartoon like Shrek and stuff like that. They make pretty good.
Now, is there any specific qualities that kind of separate why people might do one over the other, or?
It's just really a preference.
Just preference. Okay. All right, I like that. Let's see what my next question for you is going to be. As an actor, what is the most impressive piece of acting in your personal opinion? Like, what's one movie that you could think to be like, that was really the best thing you've seen as far as from an acting standpoint?
I would say somebody that can cry on command, like Pursuit of Happiness or Fruitvale Station. They're the real powerful impact movies, that people can relate to.
That's a good answer. Yeah, I'm a DiCaprio fan, so I like DiCaprio.
He's tough. He's in my top 5.
He can't. Oh, that might well jump to this next question I had then. Who is in your acting Mount Rushmore?
Man, okay, we got Will Smith, Denzel Washington.
Obviously, you gotta get Denzel.
Right, you got Leo DiCaprio, Jamie Foxx, and rest in peace to Chad.
Boswick. Oh, that was okay. That's a solid list. Definitely solid. I like that. Chadwick. Yeah, he was kind of early on though.
He
had some joints.
He had some joints.
He did.
A lot of joints.
I like those answers. Yeah, that's a pretty strong list, man. Now, when you get a role, walk us through your process on how you get into character.
With stage plays, again, it's just like connecting the dots. We going through the lines. I'm getting the backstory of it all, and it's just like a feeling. Like I try to zone out and not be myself, and just deliver the lines like they're supposed to. Cause I'm really like a director's probably like best friend. I talk to the director, see what he wants, and we go from there.
Gotcha. So how, just generally speaking, don't have to be about you, but for somebody who's just wondering how it usually is, like behind the scenes, how are things usually on set?
It's very hectic. You got lights going up. You have makeup, wardrobe. It could be hectic. You know, again, it's hurry up and wait. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, have you ever forgot your lines?
Yeah, I did in my first play. But another thing. Acting is really about the group. It ain't more so the individual. Great actors know how to play off of one another. So I had a actress that, you know, I was able to play off of, and she brought me back around to my line that I missed. And then we, you know, but you'll never know. And that's one thing. If you mess up on stage, don't let the people know.
So how do y'all, like, luckily you were able to catch it back. Have you ever personally seen a scenario where somebody just could not remember their line and it's live?
Yes.
How do y'all get out of that?
Luckily, I wasn't on stage, but sometimes you just have to just get to the next line that you can, and you just have to go from there. Listen, sometimes it's hard to remember what that line is, so you have to. I
can imagine somebody. I mean, it's not comparable, but like battle rapping, you know, most of that stuff's be pre-written, but in the heat of the moment, you forget them lines. Get real lonely right there.
Get real lonely. The stage get hot. It feel like you've been on there for a long time, and you never been on 2 seconds, man.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a tough one. I always wonder, like, what happened? They can't get it back. Y'all just start making up on the spot.
Yeah. You better know how to improv.
That's why y'all do those like kind of classes or things like that. Improv classes.
Yeah, improv classes to get you quick on your feet, if anything.
Now,
that's important.
Do you feel like you're personally, as far as your acting ability, do you feel like you're better suited for drama or like a comedy?
Me personally, I would say drama. I love comedy though, but drama because, you know, it kind of ties into the music. I bring my soul into it, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
I like that answer. I like that. Now, what type of role do you prefer? A role that's similar to like how you are naturally, or something that's completely opposite of you?
A little bit of both.
I break that down for us. Let us know.
Because, you know, art is life. You got to be able to. I feel like you have to be able to relate to it a little bit to be able to pull out the character. Now, if you want to jump off the deep end, that's a real challenge. I don't mind taking them challenges either, you know. So it just depends on the character. What's
the role that you've had that was most similar to you, and the role you had that was, you would say, the furthest away from you personally?
I would say my first role, he was naive in a lot of stuff. So yeah, growing up, maybe 20s, sometimes if you don't know a lot, you're naive to a bit. The most challenging role is probably Raising the Sun. This dude, Isa guy, had to do an African voice the whole time, and you know, to make people believe that you're an African when you get off stage, but when they come up to you, I'm talking in this voice. You know.
So I hate to do it, man, but I at least gotta ask for the people, man. Can we get the African man? Can we hear it, man? I'm not gonna force you to, man.
I'll give it.
We gotta hear this voice, man.
Give me a second. Hold on.
Hey, get in the character.
Oh, here we go.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. See, for the people who didn't know this, I didn't know he had an African voice, but I couldn't let it slide by. I'd be doing a disservice as a podcaster, right. Not ask.
I get you. Here we go. Can you believe what is really going on? You know? Like Chadwick, Black Panther 3 could have happened. I was ready for my 15 minutes.
Yeah, hey, y'all looking for the T'Challa replacement? Give him a call. He here. Y'all can't name T'Challa though. I don't think.
We don't gotta do that.
That's a question I didn't even have. But now, as an actor, how is it when like Chadwick Boseman passed away? they need a replacement. You as an actor, do you want to step into like that, or is that something that you all prefer to avoid?
Him? No, because he did a great job on that role. It's like some characters can't be replaced, and that's a character that can't really be replaced. You can work around it, but he can't be replaced.
So how would you weigh that as an actor? Like, this could be my big break. They want me. I'm getting called from Marvel, but at the same time, it's gonna be some backlash. Gonna be some pushback. How would you personally weigh that if you had that opportunity? And would you ultimately end up doing it, or would you pass? Because if it works out, great. That just sets you up.
Yeah, right.
But if it doesn't, that's a blackball.
I'd rather start from scratch. So I would have to pass because, trying to live up in somebody else's shadow, it's hard enough. Listen, a lot of people don't get out that shadow.
Yeah.
And they be like, oh, you didn't do it as well as Chad.
Yeah, they're comparing you to him. And not to mention, because they already love him.
Yeah,
they're not even just comparing. They're trying. In their mind, they want him to be better. Yeah. So now you're playing from another big thing I see, though, with a lot of actors that they really try not to do is end up being typecasted. What's your opinion on being typecasted?
Oh.
And why is that such a bad thing?
Because you get stuck in a role. Let's use Jalen White as an example. Family Matters. Steve Urkel. They always see him as, Steve Urkel. Like, it's hard to get him out that role. Carlton from Fresh Prince. You always want him to dance. And so typecasting, you definitely want to be versatile because, your career being typecasted, they only going to put you in one type of movie, and after a while, it's going to get boring.
Like, yeah, it's not challenging. I guess that's what we weigh what are you in it for? Because if you want notoriety, like all them names you mentioned, they synonymous with their role.
Right.
And
they got other movies.
Yeah, and I've seen some like people who, for example, like Eric from the '70s show. Yeah. They were making, I forgot how much they were making an episode, right. But he didn't want to do that no more.
I'm tired of it.
But it's one of those. Well, I mean, I can't knock you for wanting to like.
That's why sometimes explore. You have to turn on the road.
Yeah, but isn't the goal? And I'm not an actor, so I don't know. But isn't the goal to get that notoriety, to get that one role, or I guess nobody wants just one role. When I said it out loud, no, everybody wants to, he did this, that, Denzel level. Yeah. But everybody's not Denzel.
Yeah, they're not.
So
if you get cast in that role, and you have to be contempt. If that's going to be you really have to be contempt in it.
So, I got to put you on the spot. So if you ended up with a Steve Urkel role, Carlton role, Eric Foreman role, something like that, even like Law and Order SVU, if you had a role like that would guarantee you X amount, basically you could play that till you decided you was done. Would you take that because that's security too?
That is security.
Which a lot of we'll talk about that later. A lot of actors don't have that security. Right. Or would you say, nah, I'm good, even though I'm guaranteed to make X amount, I want to stop doing this and go chase another role or another situation that, at the end of the day, may or may not end up as good as the one you're currently in?
That is a great question. And if it's right, I would say if it's like really right, I really had to do my research on the role and how long, depending on the contract too. You know what I'm saying? So, because those are big things, contracts. So, yeah, I would say, yeah. If it's stable and I could just do it, I can always try to fit in, other things that I'm doing.
Gotcha. So, and like you said, the main thing about typecasting is nobody just always wants to be the X character. Right. We need comedy relief. Right. Now that's all they call you for.
Right. The hood character, the jail character. Because right now, I could be typecast for, just hood roles, because they might see dreads, and because you don't know what these executives are actually thinking they want for their role. You see, so look is everything.
Not to get into any specifics. Have you ever been offended on a role that you were offered? Because it's one thing to be looking for somebody, but like, do you feel like maybe have you ever been offered a role that you feel like you were stereotyped in or anything like that?
I haven't got that yet, but will it come? Probably, sure. Just
is that a common thing in acting, or because it's one of those lines of like
it depends.
It's
think what the executive is looking for.
It's one of those.
It's whatever them top heads are looking for when they look at, or the casting director is looking for. I want this because I see them a certain way.
And that's
And
when
they-
you
if
get
they
into
feel like-
I don't mean the stereotype, but in my
Yeah.
idea, this is what I had.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it is a
It's
stereotype of how
anyway.
that person
Yeah,
is, but I mean, that's what they got a certain job to do.
Certain job to do.
So let me ask this, because I know early, well, in the before days, I don't know what before means. You take that as you please, but back in the day, you had to I guess get prominent roles. You had to go to those top actor schools, the Juilliards, the I don't even know. Let me stop pretending like I know another school other than Juilliard. But you had to go there to get acknowledgement and to get that notoriety. How do you feel now that the industry is shifting? Because now you got people just making like TikToks
it's
and
easier.
showing up in movies.
Definitely easy. The work is still the same though. You still gotta put in hard work. No matter what way you get in, still go to class. Ain't nobody. They can't compete with hard work. They want to see that you. TikTok might give you your chance, but now it's up to you to put in that work. Like go to the classes, go to the best of the best, and see if you can really hang with these people, because you can learn from the people that's in the classes as well as the teacher. Because you don't know how long they've been doing it. People been doing it for 20 years. You never know when your moment's gonna be.
Now let me ask you this, because like I said, we both acknowledge at the end of the day, it's gonna ultimately always come down to this is a business. So if I could put so-and-so in this movie and it makes me an extra million, guess who's going in this movie?
Right.
But at the end of the day, do you feel like overall talent will still win out in this industry, or is it more still who you know? I want the honest answer too, because it looked like you want to give me the
listen. Relationships are very important, man. It's all businesses, whatever industry you are in, relationships are important. Now, I'm not saying you have to kiss up or anything like that, but to build a relationship is very important with people. You know.
No, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. So, talk to us about one. Do you have an agent?
I don't. Well, actually, I do. I have I actually work with Middle Georgia agency right here. Yeah.
What's something important when you're trying to pick an agent as an actor? What separates certain agents?
Just having. Well, you have to be careful. They're scam artists too.
I'm saying, I know that's a big thing.
Yeah,
music industry
it's
and
scam. I'm gonna put y'all on scam game right now. So, okay, so you might go in there, right? They give you a script. You read your script, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're awesome." You know, they gas you up. They're gonna gas you up.
Of course they are.
And this is what we need for you to pay. They might have a packet. You know, you might have to pay for. You can get your photos for $500, stuff like that. It's like a general package. So anytime you have to pay them,
you gotta question that compliment.
You gotta question, because really it's a scam.
Now, I guess that's a good thing. Do most managers not charge? Because I could see maybe, hey, you go pay for your headshots, but I wouldn't know about. I would assume the manager would probably take that out of your first.
Managers and agents, if you're not big time, you really don't need them.
That's real too, because that's like
you have to be. That's just like
that's kind of with anything.
It's like you really don't need them unless you.
Be honest. Let's be honest here. That's like with anything. What do you need a manager for? What are they managing?
Right. They have to have something to manage.
If they're not having anything to manage, then that's probably where you could tell. Well, they can't really depend on making money off of you, so they gotta make money from you.
And again,
at that point.
At the end of the day, the manager is really, talking to that agent. Hey, I feel like my client is. You can do that. Yeah. If that agency will pick you up or whatever. Now, you have to do your research on agencies.
Now, generally speaking, you may not know, of course, but for somebody looking for a manager and they start getting into certain rates, and this ain't specific to yours, don't tell us whatever you do. What is a fair compensation that an agent should probably take? Like, in sports, what is it, like 2 to 10%, something like that?
10%.
So 10% is the same thing with acting?
Maybe, I think it's between 10 and 15, 10 to 20. It just depends on that agent. I'm put like that.
So basically, if your agent making more than you, it might be time to look around.
But also definitely get an entertainment lawyer. That's a big thing people miss too. big with music, whatever. Entertainment lawyer is very important.
No, that's valid. Now let me just ask this question because it's so common. I think anytime you hear an actor when they get successful and they tell like their success story, how they made it, they always say they broke. They went from sleeping on the couches to like. So one, let's just be straightforward. Is there money other than obviously the top 1% in Hollywood? Is there money in acting?
There can be. There definitely much can be. But like I said, you can't limit yourself.
So
that's why I don't limit myself. Like, okay, I'll do voiceovers. I'll do commercials. Because it's all in the same field. So that commercial can lead to a movie. It can lead to it.
So where's the breakdown with a lot? And again, like I said, you may not know because everybody's different, of course. It's just a conversation. But why are so many actors struggling then? Is it because they don't want to do those roles or they're unwilling to, or?
That could be it. Like this is really up to you. Like you have to make these decisions at the end of the day. Do you want to? Are you gonna be big head out the gate? Like, oh no, I ain't doing that. I ain't talking to them yet. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. You don't know people find out situations. You know, I done heard the stories. I done heard great stories, and some people are going through right now, but they big break might be right around the corner.
Right before they quit.
What I'm saying? Right before they quit, and that's when they say most of the time your big break is right before you quit.
And I know, and this again, I know I'm hitting you with some questions that you low key probably can't answer because it's so wide ranging. But like I said from the beginning, we ain't know what to ask. But when do actors, generally speaking, see that change from no money to some money or something? Like I know some actors, obviously, like I said, it's hard to answer because some people get their big break on their first role. Other people be in the business 20 years before they get that break. Is there any type of mean or median to that at all?
It just depends. Like, okay, so there is a union. There is a union for acting. It's called SGA union. And then there's non-union. So union has to get paid a certain amount, but they can only do union jobs. Now, non-union, which I'm still non-union, we have a variety of range that we can apply for these acting gigs. Now, what they pay you is really up to what the description is. So if it's 150, you know, it's like background acting. I know people that make good money off background acting because it took them a minute because these checks might come every 2 weeks. Like, and if you ain't really got the money to keep, like, then you're gonna fall off. You're gonna be struggling to get back in, get back out. So, yeah, so it's really, between the union and non-union.
So what made you go non-union over union? Or generally, like I said, we ain't trying to get too much.
I mean, I think everybody starts off, non-union because you have to do certain stuff to be union. So, I think you have to be in you gotta be 3 extra backgrounds in a film or a TV series, or if you get like a speaker on off the rip, you can apply for the union. Now it's expensive.
I'm guessing they got dues and stuff.
Yeah, they got dues. They have dues, but the union, they also can protect you from certain things. Like they have a pension. You know what I'm saying? So
that's dope. But I can see why. If you still waiting on your big break, why you don't join the union, especially with the dues. If I'm not making but so much in the first place, like you want me to just act to pay y'all to be in the union?
It limits your roles because you really just have to do those SAG union jobs.
Nah, that's a
you'll get paid though, but just listen, out of this big old, how many actresses that's trying to get the same role. It's a limit. So.
Okay, so we about to wrap this up in a second, but I need you to build me a cast. Budget for this cast is not a factor, and you are included in the cast. What's the cast you building?
Whew. Man,
put you on the spot with this.
That's a real good question. Cast.
And I guess we're going to make it as easy as we can for you because you said you're best suited for dramatic movies, correct? So we got the budget, X amount, for this dramatic movie we coming out with. You're in the movie. Who else is in there with you?
I'm going Will Smith. Play like his younger brother. Let's say he gets into trouble. And his brother is trying to encourage him to go on the right path. Let's see, the mom would be probably Angela Bassett.
She play everybody, mama. That's it. You ain't got no choice with that.
You ain't got no choice.
You gotta call for the mom role.
Let's see, them two. Maybe a cop. Put a cop in there. We'll say Don Cheadle. Let's see, what other characters can we have in here?
You know he gotta have a love interest in there somewhere. You gotta keep the girl that got him when to change his life.
Who would I want as my love interest? My wife. I was just playing.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer.
Yeah, but actress wise, let's say Nia Long.
That's a strong one. That's a strong one.
Nia Long.
Okay, so we got Will, Angela, you, Nia Long. Anybody else need to be in there?
And Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Comedic. Maybe Mike Epps. Because he can kind of like play both sides.
And we peeping your favorite era of movies too, based off everybody you're pulling right now too.
Dramatic, man.
Okay, so we got Mike in there. Okay.
Because I can also, pull off the energy from them.
Now, let me ask you this. Who the lead in this movie?
Probably Will. I'll listen.
That was the wrong answer, man. That was the wrong.
Listen. Some people, listen. Will could be the lead, bro. I'll take the support. Because you gotta learn from the best to be the best.
That's real. That's real. Hey, I think in your movie, you always the lead.
Yeah,
that just go to show. If y'all didn't know him, that's just him. He ain't gonna try to take the spotlight. He just happy to be a part of the team, man. That's always been him.
But when it's time for my to lead, best believe I'm gonna do my thing.
Your time coming, man. One day it ain't gonna be you and Will. It's gonna be Will and you.
Right.
Like,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So, man, as far as acting, like I said, anything else you feel like is important for people to know, or just any game you feel like important to give to the people?
Man, it's about the journey, not really the destination. Or get your feet wet. Mainly take classes. Find these groups that people are always casting, whether it's a student film. Take any opportunity that you feel is best for you, and stuff will happen.
Now, as far as for yourself,
one more thing, and have a reel. A reel is important. A reel is your work. It's scenes from different work that you have done.
I made like a highlight tape.
Yeah, highlight tape. Yeah.
So any movies, any performances coming up for you?
I just got in one, which is what's this? Called Love Theory. You got 2 shows, August the 6th and August the 27th. August the 6th is in Noonan, and August the 27th is definitely in Macon at the Grand Opera. September 17th, From the Shadows is a movie I'm in. It's gonna be premiere at the Civic Center in Warner Robins. So yeah.
No, that's fire. So if somebody needed to book you, how could they get in contact with you, or where's the booking done at?
The booking done is at booking Anthony Garret 2 eyes at gmail.com, or you can find my Facebook acting page is actor Anthony Garret II, and then just message me and I'll see.
So that wrapped up my questions I have for you related to acting. Of course, it would be wrong if we didn't mention your music real quick. Of course, got a new tape coming soon, don't you?
Not a tape. I'm just focused on singles, man. Just look out.
That was me trying to sneak him into a tape.
He did.
If he would said he'd have to make one.
A tape is eventually coming, but I'm mostly focused on marketing and gaining fans. So look out for these videos. Mostly videos till you get if it's a tape, because that's my idea, So
you know what I'm gonna say for the people who haven't heard you. What's one song? What's your best song they need to check out right now that'll really get them in there?
Black King featuring Lawrence Ray.
What's another song that I'm not on that'll get them in there? And when I said that question, I was like, yo, please don't say the one I did with you, because I just felt like it was too conceited right there.
I know, right? Cold Heart. Cold Heart or Best of Me is. So either one. It's both, all of them are vibes.
Nah, that's for even Black King, obviously I'm on there, so of course I like the song. But even if I wasn't on there, it's a complete song before I ever come on there.
Yeah. So,
but definitely go check it out. Go stream that as well as Cold Hearted. I like your style. His style is one of those that you can't get it from nobody else, which is important for a musician, because if I can go listen to 10 people like you, I don't need you. So that's why I appreciate your music, because you are in your own lane and it's good music. And most importantly, you're not trying to be somebody else. You're being you.
Be yourself.
So yeah, like I said, this is a talented person, great person, hard worker. You deserve all the blessings that you've gotten and you will get in the future.
Yes, sir.
Anything else we need to cover before we wrap this up for you?
Hey man, stay prayed up out here. You know, the world is changing. It's not like we used to growing up and stuff. So, you know, stay prayed up and stay safe and continue to do positive things out here and move forward. Everybody that's got this business, everybody that's part of this podcast, let's keep going up. Let's send right to 1 million followers. It'd be worldwide, global. We see it all coming, man.
That's a fact.
Many blessings on this show.
Man, that's a fact. That's a fact. Like I always, appreciate your time. And this was Millionaire Mindset.
Yes, sir.